Ask anyone who's tried running a weekly tabletop RPG campaign for more than 6 months what actually killed it. The answer is almost never the game. It's Tuesday. Nobody can agree on a Tuesday. Scheduling is the real cause of that for adult tabletop campaigns. Not bad DMs, not rules disputes. Getting 4 to 6 adults to coordinate a 4 hour block weekly indefinitely, it just isn't realistic for most groups past their mid 20s. Campaigns don't end, they die by attrition. One postponed session, then another, then the Discord goes quiet. InfinityDM was built with exactly that problem as the design brief. Most AI RPG platforms are solving memory or mechanics or narration quality, and this one solves the fact that your party can agree on a Tuesday. So let's get into it. InfinityDM is a persistent digital table where every player gets their own turn queue. Player A acts Monday, player B acts, I don't know, Wednesday, player C works nights Thursday morning, and the AI holds the complete active game state, which is the health points, inventory, initiative, environmental conditions, across all of it without losing the thread. And this isn't a new concept. You had play by post forums doing this back in the 2000s and email campaigns before that. But what Infinity DM adds is a AI narration and mechanical adjudication happening between turns. Each player's action gets processed the moment they take it. The world state updates, a narrative response generates, and then it waits for the next player. The practical effect is that it's a campaign that sustains itself across weeks without a single synchronized session ever happening. Your group clears a dungeon not because you found a 4 hour Tuesday, but because everyone took their turns over, I don't know, 8 days. The session gets distributed through everyone's existing schedule instead of stacked on top of it. Most AI RPG platforms hide the math behind narrative prose. You attack, the AI tells you if you hit, and you just trust the resolution was fair. Infinity DM shows you the actual math: difficulty classes, advantage, disadvantage, initiative order, positioning. They are all exposed right in the user interface. You can see why an action succeeded, not just that it did succeed. And that's a real design choice, and it does two things. First, it makes the game legible to players who care about mechanical fairness. And second, it makes the AI accountable in a way pure narrative systems just can't. And there's also a choice of the M personalities, from a neutral narrator to a genuinely little judge, controlling difficulty, tone, and how much the AI intervenes narratively versus staying strictly mechanical. The model pool is broader than most platforms too. Google, XAI, Xiaomi, DeepSeek, which buys some resilience against any one provider going down or changing policy. Worth flagging the flip side though, player inputs travel to those external providers, which matters if your group runs mature content. The developers been upfront about this from day one. An honest comparison is that this feels less like a session and more like a serialized story you're co authoring with your group over time. The social texture is genuinely different. The shared tension of a live session, which is everyone around the table or in a voice channel reacting in the moment, that doesn't translate to async. What you get instead is closer to a long running forum roleplay, each contribution considered deliberate, no pressure to improvise on the spot. If the speed of tabletop makes you anxious, this format is actually better for you. If you play for the shared energy of a live session, asynchronous is going to feel thin. Friends and Fables is the pick if you want a synchronous multiplayer experience with all its tactical richness. Infinity DM isn't trying to replicate that, it's offering something genuinely different, a campaign your group can actually finish. Infinity DMs in open beta, run by a solo developer, and the feature set actively evolving so stability can fluctuate as they respond to live feedback. Some players find that exciting because it's a front row seat to a product being built in public. Others want more stability before sinking real campaign time in it. The free beta gives you a daily turn allowance. That's enough to actually evaluate the system, but future monetization is expected to be credit based for heavy async play. No specific price announced yet. Uh, one genuinely up, one genuine upside. I'm messing up my English a lot, but sorry, I'm not a native speaker. One genuine upside of the solo dev setup is that bug reports tend to get addressed fast and feature requests visibly move to the roadmap. I'm going to rate it 3 stars in signature design because for something nothing else in my directory does, InfinityDM shows it works. It reveals how the mechanics actually operate and why a role succeeded and what the numbers underneath were doing. And most AI RPGs hide the machinery and ask you to trust the narration, which is exactly why so many feel like the outcome was decided by its vibes or something. And that's the most distinctive thing about this platform, more so than the async scheduling it leads with. For longevity, I'm going to give it a 2, and the failure here is specific and a little ironic. Memory won't reliable hold across a genuinely long campaign, and the synchronous play is long play by definition. So the entire premise is a campaign stretched across weeks of turns, and the exact format this platform exists to serve is the format its memory is least equipped to sustain. That tension is the real ceiling on the score. For memory, I scored it a 3. It's got solid turn to turn, it's the long accumulation only that defeats it. Infinity DM solves a real problem the rest of the market mostly ignores, which is the plain logistical impossibility of synchronous adult tabletop. It's a say, sorry, it sounded almost like Adolf. Uh, Adult tabletop at a sustained frequency. So it means the async queue works, and the mechanical transparency is good design, and the model pool is flexible, but it doesn't solve the live social experience of tabletop because async play is structurally different from synchronous play. Not worse, different. Go in with clear eyes about that rather than expecting a substitute. Overall, my Infinity DM rating is 2.7 stars out of 5. And for adult groups, those campaigns keep dying because nobody can agree on a night. This is the only platform actually built around that constraint. If you want the full written review without the English blasphemies I've been doing here, you got the link down below, along with our full breakdown of every multiplayer AIDM, synchronous, async, and Discord native. If you're still deciding what format fits your group, that can benefit you. I'll see you next time. Thanks you for watching. Sorry for the English, and bye bye.